Today we've got a topic that I don't think is talked about enough, and that is the domestic violence and domestic or abuse that a lot of men face in their relationships that just isn't spoken about. It's not seen as real or as serious when it's being done to a man by a woman. So let's have a read. Dear Deirdre, whenever my girlfriend drinks, she humiliates me and can be violent, but I love her when she's sober. Oh, I love her. She's different when she's sober. She can also be really cruel when we're alone. She's told me I need to work out because I'm too skinny and that my penis isn't big enough. Okay, wow. That's not good. Dear Deirdre, blah blah. Dear Deirdre, whenever my girlfriend has a drink, she just ignores or humiliates me. More upsettingly, she flirts outrageously with other men. Sometimes she can even be violent. At a friend's wedding, she slapped me hard across the face. Is she abusive or am I overreacting? Well, she slapped you. So by definition, she's abusive. We've been together for 3 years and are both in our late 20s. A few weeks ago, we went to a party with some of her colleagues. We were dancing when another guy pulled her away, leaving me alone like a fool on the dance floor. When I found her, she was laughing with another colleague who had his arms around her waist. It's not just, like, the thing that gets me of this is not just the disrespect there that she showed him, but absolute disrespect that the male colleague showed another man. Right? He saw a colleague of his dancing with her partner, and he just went over and took it. He didn't care. Like, so what is she saying about this guy at work to these men? You know, she must be saying, like, if she was at work talking about how cool he is, how good he is, you know, real manly man he is, or whatever, you know, the other dude wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have, but he did. So what has she been telling him? I felt so humiliated, but she ignored me. Things like this happen all the time. We'll go out and she'll desert me to chat with complete strangers. I once found her standing outside with a guy wearing his coat. She said she was cold, but she had her own jacket tied around her waist. I got to keep a bum cold, I suppose. If I try to say anything about how upset this stuff makes me, she calls me controlling. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Stop crossing boundaries and being disrespectful to me. Hey, you're controlling me. She can be also really cruel when we're alone. She's told me I need to work out because I'm too skinny and that my penis isn't big enough. Well, both of those things could potentially be true, but and if you want to speak to your partner about these sort of concerns, you need to do it in a way that's not seen as, you know, cruel. You know, you need to phrase it nicely. But she always apologizes when she sobers up, and I feel bad for her. She can also be really sweet and funny, and I do love her. She's had a difficult childhood and has started therapy. I thought maybe it would make things better, but nothing has changed. Sober, she's lovely. Drunk, she's vile, and I can't trust her. Should I be patient and hope that the therapy works? Well, my advice before we look at Deirdre's advice would be, like, there's only a couple of options here. She is abusive. She's domestically abusive. So the first option, probably leave her. You just need to leave her, really. But if that's not something that he's prepared to do, then she needs to stop drinking. Like, if she stops drinking, it sounds like all the issues occur when she's drinking. So yeah, it's either I'm leaving or you stop drinking. And then if she doesn't stop drinking, then you leave. That's like the ultimatum. You know, that's the only really real option here. I mean, this is just going to keep going. It's going to keep hitting you, and it's going to get to a point where the guy will just snap, right, and hit her back, and then all of a sudden he's in police custody. He's spending the night, you know, in jail. The whole friend group and everything finds out that he's a domestic abuser, you know, even though she's been abusing him for years. So yeah, he needs to leave her, basically, or she needs to stop drinking. And yeah, he needs to start recording, getting some, you know, he needs to leave her, and then she needs to stop drinking, and then he needs to start recording things that if she keeps doing it, if he stays with her and she keeps doing this stuff, he needs to have proof that she's done it. But that doesn't seem like a good way to live life. So yeah, just leave her. Just leave her. Let's see what Deirdre says. Let's see. Deirdre says, no, you are not overreacting. Your girlfriend's behavior when drunk is abusive, both physically and emotionally. Hitting you, gaslighting you, accusing you of being controlling, and making cruel comments about your body and sexual desirability are serious red flags. Yes, they are. Although she is in therapy, there's been no meaningful change, and the repeated apologies without action are meaningless. Put your own welfare and mental health first and consider leaving before she grinds you down or worse. As a minimum, tell her that you will have to go if she can't stop this behavior. Spell out your red lines. My support pack, abusive partner, explains more. Yeah, so Deirdre basically said the same. You need to leave, or at least set very clear boundaries, and let her know that if she crosses those boundaries in the future, then you will definitely be leaving, whether that be drinking. If she hits you again, just leave. Just leave. So a lot of people, like, there's been studies and stuff that show that, like, I think I read a study in heterosexual relationships, 75% of the non-reciprocal domestic violence, that means violence and abuse coming from one partner, 75% of that abuse is the woman is the abuser. Okay, so we hear a lot about male domestic violence because compared to women, a lot of women, men are giant gorillas, right? We're gorillas. We're a lot of men are 2, 3, 4 times stronger than their partners, and so when those guys are abusive, the damage is a lot more severe. But in saying that, no abuse is okay, and just because one partner is smaller and weaker than the other partner doesn't mean you can abuse them. So they can abuse you, So I think, this is a topic that's not spoken about often. I think I'm not going to say that women are inherently more violent and abusive than men. I think maybe it's part of social conditioning where women have been told that they can't be oppressors, they can't be violent, they can't be abusive. They can only ever be victims, and only men can be abusers or anything like that. I think that may be a cause, because I think that is how society raises people to think. You hear it all the time. If a woman hits a man, it's funny. If a man hits a woman, oh, you can't do that. So yeah, I agree with Deirdre here. This guy, he needs to get out of the relationship. But if he really can't, he needs to set pretty firm boundaries. My first boundary would be like no drinking. You can't drink anymore. You can't handle your booze. If you can't handle your booze, you shouldn't be drinking. Simple as that. That's the whole reason we can't have the cool, fun drugs, right? It's because a bunch of people can't handle it. So if someone like myself, for example, I'm not saying I'll be into drugs, but if I did want to do, some illegal drugs recreationally once or twice a year, that would be fine, but I can't. Why? Because a bunch of people can't handle their drugs, and this woman can't handle her booze, and so she shouldn't be drinking. And that would be my if he really had to stay with her, that would be my number one red line right there. My number one boundary is like, you cannot drink anymore because you are violent. So yeah, I just wanted to speak about this one. No salacious, tawdry sex stories in this one. Is just an abusive relationship where the woman is abusing the man, which is something I don't think is spoken about enough, and men should feel more comfortable talking about it, because like I said in the study I read, 75% of non-reciprocal domestic violence, the woman is the abuser. So yeah. Anyway, I'm Cripple Rick on the internet. I just talk shit about stuff I see. At the moment, I'm in a real Dear Deidre loving stage. So, if you like this sort of content, like and subscribe. These are pretty quick and easy to put out. I love doing it. I'm getting the Sun Club next week, so I can get all the really juicy stories. And yeah, so yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your weekend. If you watch this on a Friday, enjoy your weekend. If not, see you in the next one.